Hello guys, Gladiator Bricks here. I'm going to do a review on some of my old animals side by side with their updated molds. Now sadly, there are some animals that never got made into Lego animals, but then Lego made them. But then there are some that had molds before, but Lego made them again. Here's the first one. Now, a story time about this. When I was a kid, my first animal would have to be an elephant. That was my first animal that I loved as a kid. It's got leg articulation, slightly, but still it moves its legs. And here's the updated mold. Smaller than the old one. Yeah, it got smaller. No leg articulation, but I still love the figure. I still love the animal. Because here's the thing. I love animals. And I always will. And I'm going to go to the next mold. The alligator. If you notice, there is a detail with all their old animals. They had no eyes. They just had these little holes in the side. Kind of like a skull. But here's the new mold. Now, I'm not a fan of... I like the old ones better because I kind of liked the old ones because they felt like Lego. There are some that, I don't know. Here's the old monkey versus the new monkey. Skinnier. He's skinnier. And look, this one, at least he has movable limbs. And they were fun when they had movable limbs. Hey, look, I stole your minifigure hands. I steal hands for a living. Alright, next up. Oh boy, we're gonna have to get on to some Star Wars figures. Now, here's the new back. Updated. Here's the old one. Yeah, this is in honor of the Star Wars fans who watch my channel. Oh, and Mayo Husco, if you're watching this, real whole egg. You're welcome. Here's the updated horse. Here's the original. Here's an original horse. Old shark. I mean, no, this is the new shark. Old shark. Personally, I like the old one. Because I had a lot of these old... Actually, no, this would be the first animal mold I ever got as a kid. I had plenty of these sharks when I was a kid. I had plenty of these sharks. So this would technically be my first animal mold next to the parrots. I'm not sure what this is, so I'm going to say a griffin. Here's the old one. Okay, I'm going to say the new mold is kind of an improvement, but I kind of have a soft spot for the old one. You could kind of use this as a gargoyle, kind of. Head also moves, but it looks like it's made out of stone. But I like this. I actually like this design. I still like the old stuff. Okay. Now for the... This was my first dinosaur as a kid. This was one of my first dinosaurs as a kid. And here's an updated version of it. Yeah, Lego got bigger with the dinosaurs. And at least it has leg articulation. I love that. But I still have a soft spot for this guy right here. Now on to the next one. Spinosaurus. Funny fact, we got an updated Spinosaurus. But I heard something from one of my buddies. They didn't believe that these were Lego, that there were Lego Spinosauruses before the Lego Spinosaurus came out. So here's a Lego Spinosaurus from back in the day, and here's the real Spinos. Here's the newer Lego Spinosaurus. Again, bigger than the old one, but still, no offense, I kind of like the old one. Because the old one, you could put a minifigure on. You kind of put a saddle on it. This guy, you couldn't put a saddle on. I'm kind of sad that this one doesn't have the option, because because plates, in my opinion, a dinosaur with plates on its back could work in a fantasy setting. This could work as protection in a fantasy setting. A warrior would stay up here amongst the plates and use the plates as protection against arrows. I mean, that would be such a cool design for a fantasy setting build. Here's the old pterodactyl, and here's the updated one. One thing I'm going to say about the updated pterodactyls, they have a bad tendency of the wings will, sometimes the little pinchers will break along with the wings, meaning that a lot of the times you wind up buying a new needing to buy a new pterodactyl to replace the one that broke. So, yeah. In my opinion, this part right here is brittle, and I kind of wish they had went with a full-on wings are permanently this way. Because I prefer this version over that version still, and I like the old version better because the old version just looks fun. I like this version, but at the same time, I think they're two different species of pterodactyl, because look at the head. They can count as two different species, actually. I think Lego picked a different species of pterodactyl than this one. Alright. And last but not least, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Or if it's Rex, rawr. And here's the updated version. Whoop, whoop. That thing's huge. Rawr. Whoops, wrong area. Rawr. Just kidding. Yeah. Way bigger than the old Lego version, but I love this old Lego version. When I was a little kid, I had one of these, but the leg broke off, and then years later, when I got a lot older, I bought a new one, and then I bought another one. So now I have two of these guys. One whose tail is kind of damaged. I have one that's got a damaged tail. And then I have one that's this one right here that's undamaged. Wound up with him in a Johnny Thunder set because I rebought an old Johnny Thunder set a long time ago. Actually, my brother bought me a new one. And I played with that set, and I still love that Riverboat set because, no offense, those old Johnny Thunder sets are fun. Anyways, that's it for today. Comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you had a favorite minifigure from back in the day or animal creature that Lego made, or if amongst these, if you have a favorite amongst these animals. Now this can be an updated mold or the old mold. Anyways, T.I. Finn, ta-ta for now.